A very good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everybody joining us from all around the world. We are in session of the second anniversary session of DMET Samvaad. We have successfully completed 2 years of success, and it is a great moment for all of us. The alumni of an alma mater is an integral part of the academic community and have a distinctive opportunity to shape the culture and future of their alma mater. Alumni have the potential to positively influence their alma mater in many ways, including guiding its efforts to build global leaders. Alumni guiding alma mater to build global leaders is a very important aspect for DMETians like us. Heartiest welcome to all the honorable alumni, dignitaries, cadets, and everyone who are present here. I, Cadet Syed Umar Khalid, roll number 9247, your host for today, would like to welcome you all to the session to learn how our alma mater strengthens the present day cadets to become global leaders.
I am Cadet Ghosh, number 9441, will be joining you today as this session's co-host. This 26th session of DMET Samvaad is a magnificent second anniversary session. We would like to convey our regards to everyone who made this journey possible and the whole Samvaad team. DMET Samvaad is a series of webinars aimed at bridging the gap between the alumni and the present-day cadets. This project is the brainchild of Srinath sir and Sachin Kumar Mahato sir, both of whom are graduates of the class of 2020. Although DMET Samvaad was initially designed as a platform to connect alumni with new cadets, it has since developed into a venue where new trends in the shipping industry are discussed, specific issues are raised, myths are dispelled, and pressing issues are brought to light.
Now, I would like to take up this opportunity to introduce our guest to all the audience. Srinath Medepalli sir, class of 1978. He has served the maritime industry for the last 40 years and very recently retired as the business development manager at Wilhelmsen Ship Management. Commander Gaurav Agarwal sir, retired, class of 1985, former Secretary DMECA, ex-Indian Navy, ex-GM of Mazgon Dock, consulted in the field of defense quality assurance. Sri Rajiv Nair, class of 1987. He is the consultant maritime in the field in this industry. Sri Sanjeev Mishra sir, class of 1982, head of section, date center Asia, DNV Maritime, President Singapore Alumni Association. Welcome sir. Sri Manish Pradhan sir, class of 1993, Managing Director, Anglo-Eastern Ship Management, and he is also currently the chairman of MASA. Sri Sharad Gupta sir, class of 1995, is the Managing Director of Cygnus Marine, Hong Kong. A heartiest welcome to all of you, sir, and we are really glad to have you all present with us today, sir.
Thank you.
Keeping this in mind, we would like to invite Sri Ishwara Arun Kishore sir, DMET pass out of 2001, roll number 5020, and presently serving as the director at INU Kolkata, having vast experience of the industry as a seagoing engineer till 2012. Pursuing his technical interest, he joined the School of Maritime Design and Research, erstwhile NSDRC, Visakhapatnam, as a scientist team. Currently also pursuing a PhD in shipboard LNG storage. Sir, we request you to unmute and shed a light on the audience about today's session. Sir, please.
Before that, sir, I would just request all our guests to kindly give us the permission to record this session so that we can keep it in our recorder.
Yeah, please
No
go.
objection from my side.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you, Prerna, for the wonderful introduction. Good evening, good afternoon to all the distinguished guests that we have on DMET Samvaad. It is really a happy moment that we are conducting this session just before the alumni night that we are going to have in a couple of days. Actually, I mean, we would like to have all of you on the campus on the day, and we request all of you to make the event a great success. There is a special occasion that we are conducting the Tempest, which is the actually at our time we used to cherish it as a cacophony. Now later on it became as a Tempest. Cacophony is a part of Tempest. Now we are embedding one more jewel into it, that is the alumni night. So this is an annual college program which got terminated some time back because of the COVID lockdowns. For the last 3 years we did not have it. So once we are restarting this event, we felt that it is a great opportunity to bring in all the alumni on the campus, and showcase the present generation of the cadets, and also showcase the campus that we are trying to shape it beautifully, that you all cherish as part of your life. It's a wonderful institution, so we'd be happy that you would be all be there at the moment. Get to reminisce all your old days on the campus, have fun time, and interact with the cadets. Thank you. We'll be looking forward to seeing you on the campus on the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, this event would not have been possible without your continued and unwavering support, sir. Thank you for your constant guidance, sir. Moving forward, now let us have a glimpse on the various changes that have taken place at the DMET since its inception.
I request Cadet Raghav Dhaka to kindly share his screen and begin with his presentation.
Yes, sir. Good evening, honorable dignitaries and all cadets present here. I am Cadet Raghav Dhaka, roll number 9446 of the 2021 entry batch. Although the core values remain the same, DMET is stepping into the modern era of training with various infrastructure developments taking place all around the campus. The prime examples of these changes are the new 356-seater new junior hostel, which is designed to maximize the interaction between the cadets and strengthen the bond between them. Next, we have a state-of-the-art engine room simulator to impart knowledge on the cadets regarding the safe and controlled operation of a marine vessel. We also have a control system laboratory for familiarization with the control and electronic systems on board a ship. And we have a fire mock-up lab to cultivate a good work safety ethic in the cadets. We also have a vibration laboratory for the cadets to learn about the properties of materials in depth and apply them. And we also have a fluid mechanics lab where the cadets can analyze and learn about the properties of fluids. And to facilitate the self-study of the cadets, the institution has launched a new air-conditioned central library with a collection of over 25,000 books. Now, it is a common misconception that the life of a cadet is a dull life. However, life at DMET is quite eventful, with a cascade of events successfully held on the campus. This contributes to the overall development of the cadets and is a key factor in developing soft skills in them. Let us take a look at some of the major events of 2022. The constant strive of the institution to impart quality education is seen in the successful celebration of National Maritime Day and a session with the retired Admiral Karambir Singh Sir on enhancing maritime awareness among the civilian population of India. Sessions like these have instilled a sense of pride and dedication in the cadets and motivate them to achieve the best form of themselves. The institute is also host to events like Swarag and I Am Urmi, which lets the cadets explore the other side of their personalities. Looking back at the cadetship days and moving on to rule the seas, the 2018 entry batch of DMET passed out in June of 2022. DMET entered a new era in its history with substantial events like Indo-Bangladesh Trade Expansion Dialogue and Synergy 22 being hosted at the prestigious auditorium. The hard work put in by the institution is seen in the achievements of cadets in various fields. with the cadets winning prizes at every event like Samudra Manthan, IMO Mock, Hackathon, and in Marco, it is evident that DMET is taking every technical and art conclave by storm. Also, in September of 2022, 3 members of DMET Samvaad entered the DMET Mary alumni reunion at Singapore and had the opportunity to celebrate and learn from over 300 alumni under the same roof. The overall development of the cadets is visible in the placement records, with the institution consistently producing good results and putting out some of the best marine engineers in the world. Now, let us remind you of Tempest, the 5-day marine extravaganza featuring 3 key areas of competition. The first one is cacophony, which explores the cultural talent of students from across the country. The next one is Check Review, the sports conclave featuring an array of competitive events. And the final one is Propulsion, the technical saga, which is aimed to develop the knowledge of students and to explore innovative ideas among them. This year, the cadets have introduced the DMET Eve on the concluding night of Tempest 2023. This evening is an invitation to indulge with your former batchmates and embark on a trip back to your cadetship days. Complete with a family dinner and a storytelling session, this night is bound to have a special place in every attendee's heart. Many of the alumni from around the globe have already registered for the DMET Eve, and we would like to take this opportunity to invite all the alumni joining today to register for an evening of joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Raghav, for your wonderful presentation, guiding us through the recent developments and achievements at DMET. I shall share this PPT with all the guests who have joined us today at the end of the meeting. And now I would like to invite our alumni to throw light on today's topic, DMET, alumni guiding alma mater to build global leaders. The floor is all yours, sir. May I invite Srinath sir to kindly start, sir.
That's a bit of a surprise to me, and that I thought you will ask some questions, and then if there is no question, there is no answer. So what happens is I don't know where to start, and the end becomes even more difficult. But let me start by saying this, that I'm very, very impressed with this presentation that I just now saw, compared to what DMET was before, at least in my time. The second thing is I'm a little still confused about whether are we calling this DMET or IMU, or I don't know what that is all about, but that's a confusion for me. And in our times, we used to have 3 years I am from Mumbai. Yes, please go ahead, Tulik.
So I just the DMET Mary, sir. DMET changed name to Mary in 1994 or thereabouts. And then when IMU was formed in 2008-2009, it became the IMU Kolkata campus. So officially we are the IMU Kolkata campus. The DMET Bombay has become the IMU Mumbai Port campus. But for the sake of history and the sake of bonding, the cadets still refer to it as DMET Mary.
That's very nice. So I think let's call it a brand. DMET is a brand then, So yeah, so that's where it actually starts from. You're talking about how do we sort of build leaders. I think the most important thing is that we have to create a brand, which is what it is, DMET. And the brand is well known, and we have to sort of build on the brand for people to know about this brand. As they say, for example, I was just watching a movie this morning, Jis Desh Mein Ganga Behti Hai. It talks about हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में गंगा बहती है. So here, that desh is DMET, and the Ganga is the people. That's us. So I think the most important thing is that we have to tell the whole world that we are products of that place called DMET, where leaders do come from, and then we have to tell our success stories. I think we are a little shy of telling who's what and where is who kind of things. And you can talk about Mr. Rajvanshi, or you can talk about Mr. Patania, you can talk about many other DMETians who have really made it to the global podiums, you know, and they're running successful companies. Like we have Sharad Gupta running our company in Hong Kong. So I think the most important thing is that you have to show that this is the so-called Harvard of India. I always tell people that, you know, I'm so proud to have come from a college like this because it opened several doors. Those days when I joined barbershop management, you won't believe it, that you used to get if you're getting two application forms to fill up, then you're into the company. But if you got just one application form, then you're not into the company, because one application form is to go to Hong Kong. And first preference in that company at that time was to DMET. If you're an engineer, if you're from DMET, you're more or less in. So I think we have to sort of bring back those glory days to an extent whereby we create success stories, we talk about them, and most importantly, how people from this university, whatever you call it now, have become industry leaders. And I think we have that great thing going with Sanjeev leading it here in Singapore. And I'm proud to be part of it. That, you know, I think it's probably the largest DMET organization out here with almost 300 odd people attending sessions.
Yes, sir.
And so I think that's where we take it from. In my opinion, let's talk about success stories, spread them through the world, spread them through this glazed glass and few other things that we are doing, and make it a unified thing whereby, you know, we contribute in whichever way we can, but also talk about the people who are already there and be proud of that.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience and goals for DMET, sir. I would just like to tell you, sir, even today, sir, that cadets like to take pride in calling themselves DMETians. So we may be in a college called IMU Kolkata campus, but we still are DMETians. So moving on, may I please request Commander Gaurav Agarwal, sir, to please unmute himself and throw his ideas to us, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Umar. Thank you so much for inviting me. Am I audible, please? Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak here today. I was extremely honored when you guys called me to be the first speaker in this Samvaad series. Then in the first year celebration, we had all the old presidents of DMECA and the other chapters and branches and associations across the world. We tried to get everyone in. And now the second Jubilee celebrations. Congrats to you all for continuing this system of DMET Samvaad. I think it gives a lot of pluses. And we're continuing to speak. One day I was wondering what my claim to fame is in DMET. So then I jotted it down and I found that it was that firstly I got caught jumping out of a window in first year, and I got caught. And I jumped back in, and all this while the teacher was inside, and I didn't get caught. I've written a story about that also. So that was my first claim to fame. Everybody remembers me as a chap who jumped out of the window and jumped back in and didn't get caught. The second was that I was second generation DMET. I was the first of the two cadets in my batch who were first generation, who were second generation DMET, myself and Vijayendra Jain. So we became a little famous for that also. And last but not the least, I became famous because after DMET, I joined the Indian Navy. So these are my claims to fame. Nothing very good to look at from the professional point of view or from a career point of view, but be that as it may, these are my claims to fame. The alumni guiding alma mater to build global leaders. Yes, why not? The alumni have their role to play amongst all the stakeholders in IMU today, the government, whether it's IMU, whether it's the faculty, staff, students, shipping companies, alumni, all have a role to play, and alumni definitely will guide the alma mater and the cadets to do good in life and to become global leaders. We have so many global leaders. So many of us sitting right here. In fact, all the distinguished panelists sitting right here with me are global leaders in their own right. So, and I presume we have all been guided and mentored by our seniors of DMET. Why do alumni do this? Why do people go out of their way? You know, people will go out of the way to give jobs to DMETians. They will take a chance, you know, because these rules, especially in European countries, are very strict about taking about any partiality. But still, people will sneak in people from the back door, etc., etc. It's all because of that bond, that the DMET bond, you know, that intangible, ephemeral entity, which is there but not there, but very palpable, you know. The DMET bond is very strong. Having been in the Forge, there's a very similar bond which I see, that is the NDA bond. But believe me, even ex-NDAs who have seen the DMET bond, they say, boss, this bond of yours is very strong. So your DMET bond है बहुत strong है. And how do we see it working? We have people, I can use some examples. S.B. Desai is 79-83 pass out. He uses his workshop. Cadets have stayed there. They have worked there. He has given them how much ever pay he can give at that point of time. They've gone on ships and learned their jobs working for him. And then when they get a job, they move on. So he has opened his workshop to the cadets. He said, "Aao raho, khao pio, chale jao. No problem." His batchmate Sanjeev Desai, who runs a few rural schools, at any point of time in a small 2-room house in Goregaon, there are at least 10 people staying. And come, stay, work, do your part of the work in the house and go whenever you get a job. Sheshashai, 78-82, I once asked him to take one cadet way back. He offered to take, there were 4 people with me for vacancies. He offered to take all 4. But one got a job somewhere, he took 3. And he gave a lakh of rupees in donation to the to DMECA. Mr. Atul Sabarwal, one phone call, and not only sponsored 2 cadets for a Korean conference, but offered them jobs also when they completed. Like this, there are so many people. All of us also. Look at Sanjeev Mishra, Rajiv Nayyar, Sharad Gupta, Mr. Medepalli. All of us have in some way contributed, and it is all for the love of the alma mater. All for the love of the alma mater. Alumni are investing time, money, and effort on a thing of the past. They're doing it for the alma mater, to give back to the entity who gave them so much. All of us, 99% of us will say that we are where we are because of DMET. Very few will give galis to DMET. Arey yaar, ye kahan par phas gaye 4 saal ke liye. And so the DMET bond, it opens doors for you. It gives you a fighting chance. It gives you a start. But after that, it is up to you to work hard and not to misuse that trust. There are some trust issues also. At times, I have started feeling a little bit that people have started asking for a little too much. Whenever there's a problem, they ask for money. See, you can't ask for money just like that. You know, so I have to do my second class ticket, 30,000. You have to manage within your means. I have never refused anybody, but at times I started feeling that people have started asking a little bit too much, because have we become too giving? I don't know. That has to be seen. And after giving, after getting help, you have to give back on your own. You don't have to be asked that the money which I'm getting is on loan or not. Whatever it is, whether it's meant as a loan or not, is not the issue. You should give it back so that somebody else can be helped. Not because that person wants the money back. He will use it to give it to somebody else. So, but one thing I would like to say is, I always liked, I was in Mascot Dogs, and a lot of cadets used to come and meet me. And I was never embarrassed, because all the youngsters who came, they were well dressed, well behaved, tie, belt, shining shoes, trousers, shirts, and well, they were so well behaved that my office staff used to ask, "Sir, ये लड़के आते कहाँ से हैं? इतने अच्छे बच्चे, इतने well mannered हैं." So I used to very proudly say they are from my college. So you have to make your seniors proud of you, and this is one of the ways in which you can make your seniors proud of you. On the other hand, how do you let down your seniors? You join a ship and you want to go home. You're feeling homesick. I've got calls from ship owners, ship managers. That chap just joined a month ago. You told me to take him, I took him. Now we are in Hong Kong or we are in some South America, and he wants to be repatriated because he's homesick. So that puts us in a very bad situation. Okay, so avoid doing these things. If life is difficult, so be it. Bear it out, do your time, and move on. But if you ask to go back early, believe me, it's become a very big negative. Some companies have stopped taking because of that. No one will hire you, hire DMET because I say so. There has to be some substance in it. And knowing that you're from DMET gives them the confidence that you have the substance, definitely. But after that, it is up to you. I think enough of Gyan. And I want to quote from Sambhav Kumar's poem. Sambhav Kumar, who I think was roll number 8647. The techies of Taratala Road, some call them DMET, some Mary, some IMU. Makes no difference what you call them because it is a cult of people. Presently 9821, I believe that's the last roll number, 9821. Because it is a cult of people, presently 9821, strong, ruling the high seas since 1949 and from now to eternity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience with us, sir. Sir, definitely, sir, what you mentioned, I think the curriculum that is followed in our campus, sir, it should provide the cadets the experience of staying away from home and be prepared to sail the high seas, sir. So we will take your advice into consideration, sir. And I take this opportunity to let you all know that many of the guests who are present here today, Sanjay Mishra, sir, Sharad Gupta, sir, Gaurav Agarwal, sir, Manish Pradhan, sir, Rajan Bose, sir, have, along with their organization, have sponsored Tempest, and they have given us a platform to showcase our talents and given us an opportunity to market our cadets. So thank you all, sir, for being the alumni that we look up to, sir. And moving on, sir, may I please request Rajiv Nair, sir, to kindly unmute himself and share his experience with us, sir.
Good evening, everyone. And one thing first, let me also share one thing about Gaurav with you. He's an author also. He has recently published his first book, From the Crow's Nest, Memories, Musings and Mirth. So besides being a marine engineer and a Navy person, he is also authored a book. And therefore it becomes all the more difficult to speak after a person who is in the habit of speaking like that. But anyway, yes, I think he's touched very important points for you to take home, especially on the attitude part, which I also, like I was having a discussion with somebody quite senior the other day, and the only thing which we felt was coming out as a feedback back to us from the industry was somehow the attitude is hurting Indian seafarers' image because people just the commitment towards staying on board is somehow missing. That's something for you to take home. The other aspect which I would like to speak to you is you have a very different era of communication and availability of information as to what we had. One of the major changes which has happened from our times of DMET and today what you're seeing is how we are communicating today. It's so simple. We have 230 odd people listening to each other so simply. You have access to so much of information available to you on your laptops and all. Please use it. It's something which is really a gift to you in this generation, which has grown by leaps and bounds and is still growing. It is something to take advantage of. And the thing which you must take care of now is you are possibly in the phase where there are going to be certain possibly impactful changes happening. There are huge concerns with respect to environment, climate crisis. We all were very used to, at that time, right from Scotch boiler and two-stroke engine, four-stroke engine, diesel cycle, maybe you may not be so, I can't say lucky or whatever, but be facing such a simple path where you are only with some traditionally established technologies. When you come out to see, maybe you may be seeing a lot of experiments going on being driven by these factors. So this is the time when you could, with the resources available to you, increase your knowledge on that. And that could set you apart. Because the world is like, I think every day you are seeing the impact somewhere or the other in the world of this, and it is becoming a very growing concern. The targets which countries are setting for themselves for decarbonization, control of climate are increasing at a very fast pace. There is a lot more effort going into new technologies, alternative fuels, new methods of propulsion, and you are going to get exposed to that. So this is something which, by the time which will translate from some revision of SCCW and come back into defined curriculums for training institutes to follow, will be possibly a decade down the line. But the changes you will see very fast. You may join tomorrow a ship which has got a dual fuel engine, which uses methanol, and you may hear of something like methane slip and how the combustion chamber design has been changed to reduce methane slip. Now, these are some things which are informations available to you, may not be part of your curriculum today and may not be part of a curriculum even for a decade, because there would be a certain inertia in these moving at an international level down to the institutes. But you have an opportunity to make a mark if you use your tools correctly, and that would be my advice to you, that use your time to get, and it's not only this aspect, automation, mass, unmanned ships. Does that mean that marine engineering will undergo a change? If it will, what would be the new set of competencies which people will look forward for? And how can I bring that into my own set of knowledge at this stage so that I am a successful marine engineer, a vessel operator, be it in whatever role. So these are few thoughts of mine which I thought I'll share with you, and if you could work on this, and I am sure with today's internet access and all, and with guidance of people like Arun and all, and I think a lot of IMU people are involved in also these new things which are going on. So that would be, I would say, should also be a thrust area and should hold you in good stead in the coming days. Rest, we had good times during our tenure at DMET, and I'm sure you all will also be doing that. One thing which keep in mind when you get a pass out and go out to sea, we learn from our seniors. So when you are out at sea, it is your responsibility also then to start teaching your juniors. If that trend continues, I see this bond only strengthening in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will surely mark your words, and as you have said, to use internet and whatever tools we are having correctly. So now I would like to request Sri Sanjeev Mishra, sir, for his to share his words with us, sir.
Thank you for introduction, and good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm Sanjeev Mishra from 1987-91. There is a little bit humor to my batch pass out. I know you introduced me as a 88-92 pass out, which is not really wrong, because we passed out in 1992, but actually we are from 87-91. Maybe I'll a little bit add the humor to this. Why? There was a long mess strike. Mr. Rajiv Nair, we were there together. He was passing out and we entered at the same time. There was a long mess strike, maybe, which lasted for more than 6 months. And then our entry to the college was delayed. And normally it used to happen sometime in August or September. and we were given the letters that, okay, you come and join, but you have to wait until the message strike is over. Unfortunately, the message strike was still not over, and we entered in the college on 15th of February 1988. But we are from 87 entry batch. And then at the beginning, when we went to the college, the message strike was still on. I think I remember maybe first 1 month or maybe more than 1 month, 2 months, there was no mess. We used to go out for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. I remember that area CPC, we used to go out mainly to CPC to have these meals and come back. But we managed for 1 to 2 months. So, coming back to this the job scene, that time when we passed out in 1992, the job scene was very good. We were very fortunate that time. I still remember there was at least 4 jobs per cadet. So like companies were offering various frisbees that, okay, you come and join us and we'll give you this. So we were fortunate. Unfortunately, the scene is a little bit different. Now it's many cadets are struggling to get the job. I understand, and this is the reality, unfortunately. But then we have to find ways to excel ourselves so that companies are able to take us, take you guys. I'll be also joining this alumni night on 12th of February, and I have managed to convince my batchmates. So we managed to combine with our batch get together reunion. I think 28 of them have already said yes. So I'm pushing them to register online, and hopefully, I don't know how many have registered, but around 28 of us will be coming to the college on 12th of in the evening. We will coordinate with the director, Mr. Arun Ishwara, on this. I'm looking forward to you guys when we are there in the college on 12th. I'm quite sure that it will be interesting programs, and will be quite nostalgic coming back to the college after so many years or maybe decades. Coming back to the topic, which is the theme of this today's session, guiding alma mater to be the future leaders. Before this session, I was thinking about what message I can pass on to the new generation and the cadets, especially who are likely to pass out very soon in 3rd year and 4th year. And 4 points came to my mind, and maybe I would like to share. First is when you start your career, it's a C career and any other career, understand the employer's expectations, their goals, and try to tune yourself. Don't put your conditions. These are the big organizations, they have certain expectations from you when they take you, they have some goals and all, and try to understand, and then tune yourself and accordingly act. Accordingly you progress your career with that company. So as you know, your actions, what you do, will have an impact on the next generation. So that please try to understand, especially for 4th year cadets who will be joining soon the C career, starting the C career. And my next message is that try to have a long-term relationship with the one company. Don't keep on hopping around and changing the company just because of few $100 or some other small benefits. Try to maintain the, continue long with one company. I'll give probably my example. I joined this company after leaving the C career in 2003. I joined DME in 2004. And since it's been almost 18 years, I have been continuing with the same company, and I don't regret. I understand the company very well, what they want, and I try to give my output accordingly. And as it's doing, I'm quite happy continuing with this, and hopefully I'll probably retire with DNV. So try to pursue long-term career with one company. Don't keep on changing the companies. My next message, third message, is that pursue the career. First, you understand your strength, your interest, and then pursue your career accordingly. If you think that sailing is not meant for you, maybe you don't like it, maybe there are many other avenues where you can look forward to and change your career. And of course, everybody is not going back to sea. There are so many people opting for other careers. But it's very important. You have to understand what is your strength, where you want to make your career, where you want to be the leader in which segment. And maybe with some additional courses and all, you can pursue that career. you should enjoy your job. When you are working at, you should enjoy. It's not because of force. That is very important to be successful in your career. The last message to all the cadets is time management. We have only 24 hours in a day. Use it very effectively. And learning never stops. Allocate some time for learning. As Mr. Rajiv Nair, he said, shipping is also changing rapidly. New requirements are coming in. Decarbonization is the flavor in recent years. And it will continue for next few years, not only few years, for a few decades. It's very important to know about decarbonization. Every companies, every ships, they want to reduce emissions. And to reduce the CO2 emissions, greenhouse gases, they are adopting various methods. Try to learn about it. What IMO wants and how companies are changing their procedures and approach to meet the IMO requirements. So it's very important to understand. And all these things, and nowadays, like in my time, it was so difficult. Learning was so difficult. We used to, it was needed to go and attend the classes. This is a time where you don't need to travel. Everything is available online. You go to any class societies, the website, everything is available. All these new requirements and regulations are available. It's so easy. You have got a smartphone, you have got internet connections. Learning becomes so easy for you. Probably do not spend so much time in social media, this and that. Probably if you have to spend time, maybe have an account with the LinkedIn. It really gives a lot of latest information. But what I'm trying to say, time management is very important. Keep learning. Learning never stops. So make sure that you are aware about the latest requirement and regulations at high level. Maybe you don't need to go in so detail at such a young age. And very important to understand what company is moving from which direction, wherever you are joining it, which direction company is moving. Try to follow same path. I think for college, DMET brand has already been said enough. I don't think I should be taking more time to add anything else. DMET is a brand. It still is a brand. And let's continue. Let's keep the flag high. And I'm sure there'll be more and more interest from the various companies to take cadets from our college, so that this job scope can be improved further. With that, I think that's all. Thank you very much for
Thank
giving
you,
me this
sir.
opportunity, sharing
Thank you
the
for your words, sir.
virtual stage with other dignitaries.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we would like to invite Sri Manish Pradhan, sir, for his words.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody. I guess people are from various time zones. I trust I'm audible. Okay, great. To begin with, I would like to thank Sayed, Prerana, and of course, Raghav. Yeah, you guys have been stitching this together very well. We always concentrate on panelists and the guests, but I think you people deserve a special round of applause to be putting this together so nicely. Of course, a big thank you to Arun sir for having steered this initiative for 2 years. So congratulations to all of you on the second anniversary. Let me begin by saying I am a proud DMETian. I do get to speak at a few forums, and I always say this. I'm a proud DMETian. Call it brand DMET, cult DMET, whatever it is. Whatever little I've managed to achieve in life is a lot of it goes back, it traces its roots back into DMET. DMET didn't just, I wouldn't say it gave me so much of technical skills, I'll be very honest, not because the infrastructure or the professors didn't do it, it's because we didn't want it. We were not ready to accept it. We were very playful, we were busy jumping fences and windows like some people have already spoken about. But, it gave us life skills. It gave us, I think it was, nowadays people teach about resilience and teach about mental toughness and well-being. We learned it naturally. So whether it was the CPC or the Kanduri Dhaba or whatever it was, something was there that, just shaped us up and we became very self-sufficient. Now, one other privilege I've had while being in, of course, I sailed the first 10 years from junior engineer to chief engineer. As Sanjeev spoke about loyalty, I was fortunate to be allowed to work for Anglo Eastern for 10 years. And once I'd done that, I was fortunate to be given a shore job. But where I was, I think, a little differently fortunate, if I may say, was the fact that I got to get into crewing. I mean, most people from this institute have gone miles into the technical arena, but I managed to, or I was, by default, I managed to get into crewing, which meant that I was dealing with people. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fascinating journey. Working in Anglo-Eastern, we're handling about 22,000 Indian seafarers, and each one is unique in his or her way. And that learning is something that I am still, I would say I'm just 25% there. Dealing with human beings, dealing with personnel, understanding the soft skill, the core is something very different, and I'm enjoying that journey. And that's why I was when I was called up to speak about preparing or, advising on leadership skills for tomorrow, it kind of resonated with me because dealing with people, we do see, every end of the spectrum. So just to share a few thoughts, and I was just scribbling while this webinar started, was one of the best statements I've heard about leadership is that a leader is one who can influence others. People talk about motivation and, there are lots of words spoken, but the simplest way to put leadership is when you can influence others. And obviously the influence has to be a positive one, okay? Now, this is, and also the other part of leadership is that leadership is a privilege, and that privilege is something that you control, nobody else. So you have to influence, and each one has his own style. There is no particular style of leadership that's right or wrong. And, you have to build your own style. You have to go with it. You have to have that passion and just keep at it. So the best part is that DMET, IMU, whatever name you want to call it, I'll still refer to it as DMET. It is a brand which has been rightly discussed by everybody. So it's given you that platform. You're already ahead of the curve. Now, how you're going to transition from being boys or girls to men or women, and then on to becoming leaders. So I have my few insights, or I would just share a few key insights about. I actually wrote down 5 attributes that you could practice. It's of course, this is again thanks to my experience and a little bit of reading. But the first attribute that I would like to really emphasize on is integrity. Whatever you do it honestly. A lot of the problem starts when we begin to, sorry for my language, but bullshit, fudge, misrepresent facts or not do things honestly. People do mistakes. I've done 1 million, and you will do maybe half as much. It's, they say it's to err is human. If you've done a mistake, just put your hand up and say, I've done it. And there are people and there's an ecosystem around you which will help you correct that mistake. But when you start misrepresenting and fudging and lying, the whole thing turns on its head. And generally speaking, when eventually the truth comes out, and then you've lost face. So one small piece of advice is, ladies and gentlemen, be honest, have your integrity intact. That's it. Second one, never let the fire in your belly die out. You must have the passion for what you do. Whether you're in technical, or you're in crewing, or you're in business development, or you're in invention, or whatever. That should be, first of all, your choice. Secondly, even if you're there by default, either you convince yourself that you belong there and you're going to do it with your full capacity, or exit. Don't sit there and waste your time and the time of the organization or whichever department you're working for. Get in there full-heartedly. Be ready to learn. Every day is a new day. It's a new journey. It's you learn something new. Just keep capturing all of that. And then keep sharing those learnings and inspiring people who are looking at you. I say this to a lot of people, that if somebody was to ask me who was my my ideal chief engineer of life, I would take a second to paint his picture in my mind. Only because he was a great guy, he mentored me, he took care of me, he taught me, he loved me. He patted me on the back. He even reprimanded me, but he was inspiring because of what he was in a positive way. Not because he taught me how to drink or how to smoke or he took me to the bar at night. That was not the skill that made him my idol. So are you going to be taking that forward? Are you going to be telling yourself every day that I need to be somebody's idol? I need to be inspiring people to kind of look at me and do what I do. So please, ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind. Third point, mentorship. Again, a blessed network here. Starting from 0001 to we're already in the 9,000 category, 9,000 alumni. You have hordes of mentors available. While you can look for one, I volunteer, but also be one. Ever since you're out of your first ship, you are capable enough to be a mentor. You are the brand ambassador of that college. So, develop your skills, use those skills to develop the next generation. I think Sanjeev and Srinath sir spoke about it, and I think Rajiv sir spoke about it. Please, how do you pass on the baton? So develop people, connect with them, communicate with them. That's the service that you need to do to the industry. And in the bargain, you will automatically emerge as leaders when you can captivate more and more people to listen to you. Fourth point is about thinking critically. You need to be a thinker. It's just, you can't just go all over the place. You need to have a goal, short term, long term. Think critically, please. Today you have tools called risk assessments and stuff like that. All these are basically triggers to think critically. So please be a critical thinker and at the same time, be a good listener. One thing that I notice is as we go up the ladder, and as you are on your way to becoming a chief engineer and beyond, your capacity to listen at times can go low because, this is a profession where, you just become autocratic by design. I'm the chief engineer. I've told you, do this. And this becomes more a way of life than anything else. Pause, take a deep breath, listen. Sometimes your oiler or your fitter could have the best idea in the making. End of the day, you are the leader, yes. You will have your last call, but allow everybody to have voiced their opinion. When you do that, first of all, you might just get additional ideas to execute your job or your idea better. But also what you do unintentionally is you make everybody feel a part of that team. And they will respect you more and more as their leaders. And you eventually become that alpha male, which is a prime quality of a leader. Think of it, and I think I've said this before. Why is the lion the king of the jungle? The lion is neither the fastest, neither the biggest, neither the tallest, neither the most scary, but he's still the king of the jungle. Only because the lion has the distinction of being able to protect his herd. That's the leader. That's the king, right? So that was the fourth thing. The last one. Pardon me if it's getting longer, but the last one, and I think a really important one, is taking ownership of your actions and being accountable of what you do. Failures will happen, as I mentioned. You have to stand up and own the failure. No person reaches success without failing. To fail is to succeed, they say. So every time you fall, learn from it, get that knowledge, why you fell, stand up and get stronger and get moving again. So that those are the 5 things that I would like to pass on to you guys, you young people. The new thing, of course, the technical part of it is something that Rajiv sir spoke about, but there's one more thing that I would like to bring in from the human side of it, is gender diversity. More and more women are being encouraged into shipping. It's been a very, very thin population till now, but I feel extremely proud when I see girls like Prerana coming up, it must have been quite a decision to enter this male-dominated society. But then what I would like to tell to everybody, to all you gentlemen cadets and to all on my panelists is, let's welcome women into the profession. Almost every flight I take on a trip to somewhere, I see a huge growing number of pilots. Why not? Why don't we make an atmosphere congenial for women to come and work with us? Please welcome them and respect them. Guide them. You know, I was speaking to Leander Pace recently, an 18-time Grand Slam winner. And all I wanted to know was how he used his skill to cover for the women or his mixed doubles partner. Obviously, when he was partnering Martina Hingis, she was not as fast a server as Leander was. So what is it that you need to cover for your lady teammate so that she feels comfortable in there? So my shout out to all of you, respect women, make them feel welcome, help them in whichever way possible. Okay, and yes, I do hear a lot about, we were this and we were that and we were great, we were kings when we were in shipping, and the new generation, you guys. My vote is for you guys. You guys are excellent. You guys are better than what we were. All right, there is no doubt about it. The IQ levels that you guys carry on your heads is way, way superior to what we had. What we had was no choice, no options. We just got into one side of the tunnel and we made sure we came out from the other side. All I want you to do is use this extra edge that you have over us to achieve success. Don't get distracted. Don't lose sight of your goals. Make sure you come out from the other side. And trust me, all of you cadets will be way, way better leaders than any of us on the screen. We would be loving to just stand on the side and laud all of you when you guys have achieved much more. So you have our backing, our good wishes to do that. Never drop your guard. Just because you're DMET, don't let it go to your head and say, I already have a lead start. I can afford to be that rabbit and wait under the tree while the tortoise will go past. Don't let that happen to you. Last word of caution, of course, somebody touched on social media. One thing that I really feel perturbed and hurt about is if there is any news to do with shipping that's going on social media or on WhatsApp groups, it's always of a negative tint, so to say. Ship was grounded, had fire. The Evergreen story, I don't think any news in shipping would have got so much of traction. But do you know how many rescue missions happen at sea? Do you know how many medevacs happen at sea to save people's lives? Do you know how many million, zillion tons of cargo is moved around? Do you know how sailors worked through the pandemic to keep trade lines open? Not a word was mentioned anywhere. My appeal to you young guys is propagate positive news about shipping and cut out bad news. Because if you want the society to respect you, if you want your neighbor to know why you have that fancy car and a fancy house, you need to put your stories forward. Somebody spoke about sharing positive stories. I so second that. Please, it's the glory of your profession is in your hands. Grab it, show it off. Show it off in a positive, decent, nice manner. All right. Sorry for taking so much time. But yes, when it comes to people, I'd like to speak. And thanks so much for having me. It's been a privilege. And I wish every one of you a very, very great day ahead, a great evening ahead, a great weekend ahead, and a great life ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your touching words. Sir, I would like to let you know that presently we have 5-7 lady cadets at DMET, which is the highest number of lady cadets that we have been since DMET at its inception. Sir, also I would like to thank you for encouraging much more lady cadets to join this maritime field, sir. Now we would like to call up Shri Sharath. Yes, sir.
Sorry, but just to tell you, we already have 47 ladies in working with us. We want more, and as your name suggests, you should be a prerana for the other ladies behind you, right?
Yes, sir.
So, great name.
Yes, sir. Sir, now we would like to I would like to call Shri Sharath Gupta, sir, for sharing his thoughts on today's topic, sir.
Thank you, Prerna, and good day to everyone. Thank you, Honorable Director Arunji, for bringing this platform together. Having to speak last after such a glittering panel, I feel like, like Ashish Nehra being asked to bat after all the Dravids and Tendulkars have gone through. So I don't know what I'm going to really do, but I'll do a little bit of a change of track here. And I'll try and focus on the alumni part, not just the cadets themselves. Thinking of a simple example, I was trying to connect it. Our first learning about fire was the fire triangle. And then later on, we found out there's a very important layer which makes it a fire, tetrahedron. Similarly, in the successful university, I feel that the three sides, which is the infrastructure, the faculty, and the cadets, the intakes, that's the three sides are already there. They're already existing. What we need to add is the fourth layer, the critical chain reaction, as they call it, which is, I feel, the alumni. And I think Srinath sir referred to DMET as the Harvard of India or marine training. I think one very important thing which any of these universities have is a very, very active participation of the alumni in the curriculum itself. And that, I think, is an area where we can also work on what Rajiv sir mentioned about, or he alluded to, a slight disconnect between the curriculum and what lies ahead for these cadets when they go on board. So if it can be worked, in my humble opinion, if you can actually roll in a specific lecture, whether it's once a month, once a fortnight, once a year, whatever it is, depending on, we form a panel of eminent alumni. I mean, we have Sanjeev sir in a very, very important position as far as learning new regulations is concerned. We've got people from our alumni who represent India at the MEPC. And we've got loads of people in the right positions who can come to the university, give a structured lecture to the alumni. I'm not talking about experience sharing. I'm talking about a structured delivery of a 1 hour lecture once a week, once a month, whatever it is. And they will come, they could be out of a pool of such alumni who would take turns, visit Calcutta or as it's possible. And then that would add a definite flavor to what is being taught at the campus as of now. And we talk about the employability of the cadets who are coming out. I think that's a very important aspect of exposing the cadets to the industry professionals while they're still in college to help develop their employability. Because not only would it add to the experience sharing, I think it's more of practical knowledge and future regulations or technologies sharing from the people who are actually in the thick of things as we speak. So that, I think, would be a very important area where the alumni can actually put their hands together. Whether this exercise can be brought to fruition with the IMU blessings, or whether it needs to be funded by the various DMECAs around the world, because obviously, at the end of the day, it boils down to procedures as well as money. So that's something which I would let the Honorable Director as well as the IMU Chair, Mr. Jagmeet, to possibly thrash out the details on if this idea makes sense. So, I mean, we've got a very large community of DMETians in Singapore. Sanjeev sir obviously leads them. We've got the second largest caucus here in Hong Kong. We have 110 members from DMET. So there's a huge pool of talent which is sitting literally 4 hours flight from Calcutta, or even less for that matter. So I think that's one area where if we can possibly explore and bring real difference to the cadets there are. So that's my 2 bits. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening speech, sir. Sir, I would just like to let you know that recently, sir, many of our alumni have been visiting campus under the guidance of Ishwara sir, our director. We are giving them a tour of the developments that are taking place at DMET. And like you said, sir, the interaction of our alumni with the present day cadets is the change that we require at the moment, sir. And perhaps we can, just like you suggested, we can come together like form a panel like this one, and we can get together and form how we can go ahead, sir. And thank you so much, sir, for your constant support in bringing all the Hong Kong alumni together and supporting Tempest. And at alumni nights, it will be a very unique get together of all the alumni, and maybe DMET will be reborn again, sir. Sir, may I kindly, with your permission, request? Yes, sir. Sir.
Sorry, just wanted to add a small thing because the understanding of the topics were a bit different to me because I was not knowing that I was going to be addressing people to do what they should be doing to become leaders or how they should behave after college and things like that. I think I agree with Sharad out here. Two things. Sorry to take your time. Two things. One is they're talking about Sanjeev not job hopping and things like that. I don't want to say something about myself, but yes, I did retire at the end of the year from Wilhelmsen after 40 years. So I don't know if that you considered a stupid guy or what. I don't know, but I have not retired, mind you. I'm doing something else. You will probably get to know what I'm going to be doing very soon. The second thing is that what Sharad talked about is that I think as we take pride in what we are today, we have to make sure that the people who are coming on board, that is you guys, should know what life is after college. And therefore, I think some kind of interlink should be there from the alumni to the people as lectures or whatever you can call it or whatever that can be done. But the challenges have to be addressed as they go on, but you should also know what it is like to be at sea and see how it is going. But all I want to say is that if you want every DMETian to be employed, not like Sanjeev's case, we were at the raw end of the stick. There were 5 applicants for one third engineer's job. I was a third engineer with first class license. All 5 applicants were with first class, and we were applying for a third engineer's position at my time. So it was a reverse situation. And that time, Captain Mehra, who was in charge of barbershop management, asked me, Srinath, why should I take you when I have 5 people applying with similar qualities and similar qualifications? So I told him, sir, if you want to take the best, take me. Otherwise, you choose the rest. So the most important thing is your confidence in yourself, that is important. So I would recommend that, especially to Arun, to try to have more interactions between the alumni and the cadets so that they know what life is all about. I'm not here to tell you what you should do because I think all of you guys have told a bit. I'm sure every year, every month when you have this, a lot of them keep telling you the same things probably. But let's look at the future. That is most important thing, and how to bridge gap and making sure that every DMETian gets a job at the right time. That's the most important thing. And if it is required, what we need to do, put our heads together and do something about it. But again, work on the brand so that we tell what kind of leaders we already have in the industry that this great institution has produced. That's what I want to say.
Thank you so much, sir. May I please request Gaurav Agarwal, sir, to please unmute himself. And I have been told that sir wanted to speak something related to this topic, sir.
Not really, but okay. Now that I have unmuted, I just will tell all of you all that I'll be there on the 12th of February, and I'm looking forward to being there. Me catching up with batchmates, juniors, seniors. I hope most of y'all will be there. I don't know. Srinath sir, will you be there by any chance?
Yes, I'm in Taiwan that day, so unfortunately. So.
Okay. I know Sanjeev will be there, and of course Arun, Rajiv. I don't know. Sharad? No, I don't think so.
Yep, I'm definitely planning.
Oh, great. Manish?
Looking forward to seeing you.
Yes, I'll be there.
Oh, great. Then we'll have a good time. Alright, lovely. I mean, I didn't have anything else to say. Thank you so much, Umar.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we have the cadets have come together and put together a video of the life at DMET, sir. So may I please request to share your screen and play the video, Raghav.
The Indian Maritime University, Kolkata campus, or as we like to call it DMET, has served as the pioneer of maritime education and training from inception of merchant marine in India and still remains as the most sought after institute for marine engineering. This is the story of the first and still the best marine engineering institute in the country, DMET. Established in 1949, the DMET emerged as a leader in marine engineering training. 70 years passed and still continues to be the paramount of marine engineering training in India. In fact, it has been the most sought after institute for the aspiring cadets coming fresh after schooling. A lush green campus spread across 33 acres in the heart of harbour lanes of Taratala, overlooking the docks. DMET is a high-standing flag for the history, present and the future of marine engineering training in India. The institute has been a hallmark of excellent cadets. What brings this excellence is a highly motivated workforce of faculties and instructors. Let's hear it from the man who runs it all.
Under the leadership of Bhimrao Ambedkar ji in 1947, and the Constituent Assembly President happened to be Harendra Kumar Mukherjee, and they have seen a need for training citizens in merchant marine. There was an inclusion in the 7th schedule of our Constitution, and he established this particular institution. It was formally inaugurated in 1953 by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. It has seen and attracted one of the best brains in India. They went on to become very great entrepreneurship managers, administrators, successful businessmen and whatnot. But always the technology that runs all this equipment or powers the research in this domain happened from mostly the Scandinavian countries. Now looking forward to match to their standards and exceed them. This is high time that I have is to blend practical experience and theoretical knowledge, which happens hands-on training at this institution.
The secret to success at DMET is installation of discipline and determination right from the onset of their admission. The learnings made here remain with the cadet, guiding through entire life. Teaching that discipline requires a man with nerves of steel, and this man ensures that no one escapes the grill.
Basically to ingrain discipline in the newly joined cadets and to ensure that they understand the legacy of DMET and IMU, what is expected of them. As a faculty, I would like the students to understand the subject matter in the best possible manner while maintaining complete discipline in the institute, and there should not be anything which should be bothering them once they leave the class. They understand the legacy of this particular institute. They understand that they have to perform well once they leave this particular institute, and that is what makes them more sincere, more adaptive, and more ready to fight when they go into their new work.
The most important bond that cadets make here is with the seniors and batchmates. Teaching the proper conduct and the required discipline, Fallons are a regular boost of senior cadet interactions. Let's see a regular Fallen and the legacy of the institute, the quadrangle.
To the sound of hooter, the cadets muster in the junior hostel quadrangle, which shows the agile response to the hooter sound in the merchant marine. In the night Fallen, we do head counts, and cadets also address their issues to the rank holders. The Fallen is an integral part of DMET training. Every brick layered in the quadrangle has witnessed the training and the legacy DMET provides. Fallen also include the discipline and the proper conduct. Cadets are also trained about the basic responses given to the commands by quartermaster and the rank holders.
DMET has always been the pioneer of cutting-edge academic learning experience through advanced and modernized equipment. The modern-day DMET is home to facilities like advanced simulator labs.
For being the best marine engineer, we need great practical knowledge, which is not always possible in the class. For that, we include simulator lab, which gives us the brief knowledge on the practical working of the machines and in the virtual mode. which completely takes us to the virtual world of the machine spaces on board, where we can also operate and control each and every part of the machinery and experiences the machinery spaces in the virtual mode.
State-of-the-art library facility.
The library of DMET has been an integral part of imparting maritime-based knowledge in the modern-day cadets. The library is spacious, filled with more than thousands of books and journals. It is fully air-conditioned with a seating capacity of 100 plus cadets at a time. Books on every marine-based subject is available, along with journals and magazines from every renowned marine author, covering everything you need to know from shore to sea. This is the best place where you can sit and learn to be a successful marine engineer in the coming days.
And one of the largest marine workshops in Asia.
DMET is a house to one of the biggest marine workshops in the entire industry. Equipped with various machineries, it is also a home to the Kawasaki MAN diesel engine with 6000 bhp horsepower. The recently gifted gas turbine by the Indian Navy adds to its glory. The hours spent here by the cadets train them for their onboard training. The faculties and the instructors ensure that a proper safety culture is maintained while the cadets finish their job.
Safety culture is an integral part of training imparted at DMET. With modern fire prevention equipment to high-class instructors, the cadets are taught about their life ahead on voyages on board. This building, resembling the ship's accommodation area, serves as a simulator for fire prevention training certified by the highest classification societies. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Case in point, we at DMET emphasize on physical activities and sports in great manner. No wonder we are leading across all sporting disciplines.
Sports in DMET plays a very crucial role in a cadet's curriculum. Sports improves a cadet majorly in two aspects. You can choose from various sports, including cricket. The sports here is especially unique because of the bond that a junior and a senior shares. The bond that continues to exist and prosper even after a cadet passes out from this institute.
We also have a 24/7 dispensary ensuring the well-being of the cadets residing in the hostels. With over thousands of alumni as industry leaders and eminent bureaucrats, the DMET has produced a plethora of cadets guiding the lives of nation and beyond. After 72 years of its inception, the dream has been realized, but the fire burns as bright as ever. So, what is DMET?
It's a professional discipline branch of engineering.
There is something in it for everyone. DMET teaches us to fearlessly embark on new journeys that are better than the ultimate goal.
You liked this video. We are very thankful for the team that came together and did an excellent job on making this video. May I now please request Shri Harsh Sinha sir, who is one of the brainchilds of DMET Samvaad, along with Shri Sachin Mahato sir, class of 2020, to please unmute himself and speak to us, sir.
Thank you, Umar. Very good evening to all of you, sir. Actually, I'm traveling somewhere, so I can't switch off my mic, switch off my video. But before we proceed to the official thanking note, I would just like to thank all of you for your gracious presence. And I will take just 1 to 1.5 minutes to just summarize the whole 2-year journey which we had in DMET Samvaad. Actually, when the time when we were conceptualizing DMET Samvaad, we were very much skeptical that what actually will happen, because that time there were two issues. The main issue was that we were very new to this culture of online virtual discussion. And the second thing was there was a lot of negativities which were spread in social media. regarding DMET and the problems which existed in DMET. But we believe that DMET is the little manifestation of India, which actually we share in our values and in our cultural heritage. So it's a usual saying that कोई भी देश perfect नहीं होता, उसको perfect बनाना पड़ता है, और कोई भी institution perfect नहीं होता. We have to contribute to make it a better place to live in. So in spite of all the culture of negativities which were spreading in the transition of 2019-20, we tried to make sure that the values of India, that giving back to the society, should gradually evolve. And the fourth tetrahedral, which Sir has talked about, that we were actually not very much officially connected to the alumni. Like Gaurav Sir has told that many students are trying to take some undue advantage, or that was actually happening up to some extent. So we had tried to create the fourth tetrahedral, that is the alumni thing. In the culture of students, administration and curriculum, we had tried to introduce that fourth tetrahedral. And gradually we had make a very good team. And the thing is what we are observing today. Regarding the participation of lady cadets, we had, from the past 2 years, we had tried to make sure that we organize Women's Day, and we tried to invite all those pioneers of DMET, women especially, who have contributed significantly to this industry. At last, I would like to thank Gaurav Agarwal sir and Sanjeev Mishra sir, who had played a very significant role from the very first day of this Samvaad thing. And now we are proceeding with the alumni night on the 12th of February. So hopefully it may deepen our association with DMET. Thank you so much, sir.
I would just like to say a few words about Harsh Sinha. He's very persuasive to get people onto his program. He doesn't let you go like that. Huh? And he's done some research in some company in Nagpur. He's done, I think, 6 months stint as an intern in the Ministry of External Affairs. 6 months, Harsh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So he had a pretty good tenure there. I mean, it didn't culminate in anything else, but he at least had that bird's eye view of global politics or global shenanigans, and he did quite well there. He's studying presently for the IAS, I believe. Harsh, all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your words, sir. Now we can say that overall, alumni can be a great asset to their alma mater. They can help the college to build global leaders and to create a better future for the present day cadets. This brings us to the conclusion of today's DMET Samvaad session, which was highly riveting, and I'm confident that every one of us gained invaluable knowledge and life lessons, not only regarding this maritime field, but rather in numerous aspects. Now, I would like to ask my batchmate Cadet Anna DM to deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Cadet Anna DM, roll number 9311 from class of 2021 to 25. It is indeed a matter of great honor to present the vote of thanks on today's Samvaad session, as we are celebrating the successful completion of 2 years of DMET Samvaad. I would like to express my profound gratitude to all our panelists, Mr. Srinath Medepalli, class of 1974 to 78, retired Business Development Manager of Wilhelmsen Ship Management, retired Commodore Gaurav Agarwal, class of 1981 to 85, former Secretary of DMECA, Mr. Rajiv Nayak, class of 1983 to 87, Consultant Maritime, Mr. Sanjeev Mishra, class of 1988 to 92, Head of Section of Dates Inter-Asia, DNB Maritime, and the President of Singapore Alumni Association, Mr. Manish Pradhan, class of 1989 to 93, Managing Director of Anglo-Eastern Ship Management, Mr. Sharad Gupta, class of 1991 to 95, Managing Director of Cygnus Marine Limited, and Sri Ishwara Arun Kishore, Director of Indian Maritime University, Kolkata campus, class of 2001, for gracing this gathering by sharing their experiences and their guidance. I would also like to thank Cadet Saiduma Khalid sir from the 2020 entry batch and Cadet Prerana Ghosh from 2021 entry batch for hosting the session today. Once a DMETian, always a DMETian. The role of alumni in guiding their alma mater to build future leaders is enigmatic. They have an integral part in shaping the cadets by providing mentorship and guidance, and by nurturing their skills for equipping them for better knowledge and expertise necessary to excel in their chosen career paths. They also serve as role models for the cadets, inspiring them to strive for excellence and to reach their full potential. I would like to once again thank all the panel members for taking out their time from their busy schedules and joining us here. The constant support and guidance provided by our director, Ishwara Arun Kishore sir, was remarkable. He left no stone unturned when it was about taking DMET Samvaad to its pinnacle. Thank you so much, sir. I would also like to put this on record that this session was sponsored by Singapore Alumni Association and the broadcasting courtesy was given to Jaipur Dialogues. We are thankful for their kind cooperation. We assure that these sessions will flourish even more with the able guidance of such industry experts. Now, I would like to thank the DMET Samvaad team who constantly work behind the scenes to make today happen, comprising of the pioneers of Samvaad, Harsh Sinha sir and Sachin Kumar Mathur sir from class of 2016 to 20, and the core committee composed of Sachin Savra sir from class of 2017 to 21, Abhishek Sahi sir from class of 2018 to 22, Vami Kasra sir and Rudvi Kumar sir from class of 2019 to 23, Samat Upadhyay sir, S. Alfred Trinity sir, Ishika Sinha ma'am, Saiduma Khalid sir, and Saideep Datta sir from class of 2020 to 24, and my batchmates Ajay Raj Sharma, Arkya Vaishya, Logeshwaran M, Piyush Ahirwal, Prerana Ghosh, Raghav Daka, Rustam Raj, Sonal Ash, Susnata Mukherjee, and Yash Mukherjee, who have worked tirelessly to make this event a great success. Last but not least, I thank all the cadets who attended today's session enthusiastically, making this day a huge success. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you, Anna, for your vote of thanks. May I kindly request all our guests to enter the breakout room that will be available on your screen right now. Please enter the breakout room so that we can have a photograph session with everybody present.